and listen to us. Enjoy the broadcast. Get you some Raising Cane's sweet tea. And we're about to start off the second half.
Yeah, John, I mean, after the first half of the game, I mean, it was quite the half. I mean, it was from a Tiger standpoint, it's quite disappointing. But I'm anxious to see how they perform, coming out in the second half. And I mean, if you think back last week, I mean, the Tigers, I mean, they didn't do much in the first half, but when they came out in the second half, you have to wonder what kind of halftime speech did Coach Bradley give that team. Because, I mean, they came out clicking and kicking.
Yeah, it wouldn't take a whole lot to get back in this game. A couple scores here, a surprise score there, a pickoff there, or just playing good, solid football, and you can get it done this half.
Right, and I mean, and just from analyzing from the first half, I think the defense is actually going to help get this team back in play because, I mean, they went to the air a couple of times and they actually could have got some turnovers. So I believe that the Tiger defense is going to have to step up, bow up, and get some turnovers to help out this Tiger team.
But really, this game, other than pride, really doesn't mean anything. It does mean something for the players that are playing it, but really all you had to focus on is region play.
I mean, right, and I mean, the teams, I mean, they're cross-county rivals. They're really, I mean, this is not really a division game. So, I mean, this game, it won't matter. Division play doesn't start until the second half of the season. So right now, they're in the learning process. They're still trying to find their identity right now and find out what works. But, I mean, you always want the best for your team. So they're using this opportunity to, figure themselves out. Hopefully they figure out a way to get some points on the board. And hopefully more than the Mustangs.
Yeah, you're right. So, stranger things have happened. I've seen some weird college games, weird high school games. So anything can happen here at Kinsley. And your second half is about to begin. Tigers trail 27-0. So all you Tiger fans, get on your feet at home and support the Tigers and Coach Braddock. Here we go to start the second half.
All right, so the Tigers have kicked off. And the ball is going to be fielded by, it's like, Evan Pitts.
It's really hard to read those numbers. You can read it on the Tigers uniforms because they're white on white with black writing, but the Mustangs have a gray sort of uniform, gray pants, gray shirts, and it's yellow. So it's really hard to read.
So it looks like that was Antoine Kirk on the return. So a minimal gain, but I mean the ball, it was fielded at about the 33-yard line, so the Mustangs are going to start this half off in good position. Cooks is going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to his running back. He's going to cut his way up the middle, pick up of about maybe 8 yards on that carry. A second effort by the running back who had a great push by the offensive line. And the defensive line, who was pretty much doing a decent job in the first half, coming out early, they're going to have to kind of get a little stronger along the.
He did. He got a gain of 5 yards on the play, 2nd and 5 from the Mustang 33-yard line here in the third quarter, being brought to you by Tactical Combat Arena.
So Cook takes the snap, hands off to the running back, and lose the defenders, kind of trying to wiggle his way out the arm of another defender, but it's not going to work for him. It's going to be brought down after maybe 2 yards.
Okay, so 4-yard gain, 3rd and 1. This is what the Tigers need. A big stop would be huge here for Coach Braddock.
It would really be huge. And they had enough time to rest, so, they shouldn't really be winded right now. So Cooks is going to take the snap. He's going to hand it off to the running back again. Going to look like he picked up more than necessary.
Yeah, he picked about up Sean Michael Hill there on the carry, gain of 4. Tigers did hold it to a 3rd down, but we need a little bigger stop here.
Okay. All right, so the Mustangs waiting the call from the sideline. Looks like they got it. They lined up. They come out with 2 receivers. Receiver to the right of Cook. Cook going to take the snap. He's going to hand off to the running back. The running back stopped, but he drags a few defenders. Pick up about 4 yards.
Yeah, he got a good gain of 4-yard line. A gain of about 4 yards. 2nd down, 2nd and 6 from about the 47.
Looks like that was Travis Shelby on that last carry. So it's a new running back they look to be breaking in right now. It's like it was on his first carry of the game. They have number 7 back in, lined up with 2 receivers. Cook's going to hand off to number 7. Going to break it out to the right sideline and try to cut it up the sideline. He's still going. He breaks it out from the 40 to the 30. He's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Yeah, it looks like the Tiger defense thought it was out of bounds, and he wasn't. He just continued to run his way up the sideline. And once again, they're going to have to be more physical on defense. I mean, the Mustang offense have showed they're not to be taken lightly.
Yeah, the Mustangs really are just running.
They're really just playing. I mean, that's basic football. They're not doing anything special. They just have to get stronger up the middle. And the running back just runs it up the middle for about 5 yards just then.
Then 7 on the play. The second and short for the Mustangs.
So now it looks like the Mustangs have Michael Neal in the game now.
2nd and 3 from the 25-yard line of the Tigers. The Mustangs get in.
It looks like they're just shuffling through running backs right now. They hand it off, pick up of about 2 yards. So it seems like it's 3 different running backs that we've seen in this series alone. So I mean, they're pretty much to the point where they can experiment now.
Yeah, it's about 3rd and 1 from the 22 of the Tigers. So they need a big stop here.
Oh, they really do. I mean, they're just getting closer to that end zone. They're going to come out, keep the same 2 wide receiver formation, running back to the left of Cook. Cook takes the handoff.
And it was just enough for the first yard for Cook. So
I'm sorry, that was Neal on that. That was Neal on the carry. I'm sorry, it's really hard to see these numbers. So that was Neal on that carry. So he goes out. He's going back to the sideline. So now it's Travis Shelby in at running back now.
And the Mustangs are just really using all their running backs here in just a simple handoff play.
Hey, they really are. I mean, they've earned the right to do that. I mean, they're just, like I said, they're just experimenting right now. So Shelby moves to the right of Cook. Cook takes the handoff. He hands it off to the running back, and he goes up the middle for about a 4-yard gain.
So Jones gets a gain of about 5-6 yards there, 6 yards. 2nd and 4 from the Tiger 21 for the Mustangs.
They just continue to work that Tiger defensive line. They're just wearing them out. The Mustangs line back up. They're looking to the sideline for the play. They're going to keep the same 2 receiver formation. Running back to the right of Cook. Cook takes the snap, hands off. Running back right up the middle, wiggling his way, breaks a few tackles. Now dragging defenders. Wow, that little guy is cocky up that middle.
And we're going to get an old Tiger, a former Tiger drummer, Max Sanders, on the board there at Sandersfield. Max, what's your take here on the game tonight so far?
We're just giving it away, John. You know, sometimes it happens. So if we can just turn it around, it'll be a little better game, but we just giving it to them. I mean, you know, it's hard to even come over here. It's hard to come over to this side of town.
What do you think about that onside kick?
Well, that was smart. I mean, that looks like something the great Southern Miss would do. But, you know, I mean, that was surprising, but I don't know why we had to stand there and just watch it. I don't understand that. And I understand why they did it, because there's only 56 seconds left. But I don't understand why we have to sit there and watch it. But it's okay.
It was a douchebag move, but hey, it is what it is. We'll get back to the game.
Always great commentary about Northeast Jones.
Max Sanders. So
on the previous plays, the Mustangs are just continuing to work the ground game. They're running back right up the middle. And that was they're just sticking. Look like they're going to stick with Travis Shelby.
With the run, why not? It's working
so far, and the Tigers are proving. I mean, they're not able to stop the run. The Mustangs are just going to work that ground game.
They're taking their time, you know.
They're keeping the same 2 receiver formation, 1 on each side. Shelby to the right of Cook, and Shelby right up the middle for another Mustang touchdown. They're just making it look so simple. I mean, they're not making this ball game. They're not making the Mustangs work for anything.
Well, I'm just proud we got some good Raising Cane's, sweet tea, and chicken fingers up here.
Well, you're right, John. I mean, in every in every situation, you have to find some good, and so that's the good. We got some good old Raising Cane's here. You got some Little Caesars pizza here, some good old Raising Cane's sweet tea. I mean, hey, we're doing good. And it looks like on the point after, another mishap, and the snap was over the head of the holder, and so the Mustangs, they had to run back and get the ball. So it was a kicker that did that. It was brought down at the 30-yard line. There's a lot going on that point after.
You just gotta wonder. But it don't matter. We got Raising Cane's chicken up here, you know.
Yeah, exactly. We're finding good in all this bad.
Well, you know, it might look bad on the scoreboard, but it don't matter.
Yeah, it's good up here where we are.
Hey, reach and play is all we're concerned about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always tough when you come to the pasture, you know. But,
yeah, you're right. You know, not to take anything away from them. I mean, they play some good football, and I mean, they're doing their job.
Yeah.
I mean, what else can you expect from them? But I can almost guarantee if we were to do our job, the scoreboard would look totally different.
Well, Jimmy Johnson once said it ain't our job to give them points. It's their job to stop us. So.
Yeah, exactly. So the Mustangs are kicking off right now. Let's see, it looks like it's going to be Morris who's going to field, and he's going to get his block set up. He's going to cut it up the field, then cut it back out, and he's going to be stopped at the 20-yard line. He was met by Mustang defenders.
Now, Kinsley, you down 33-0 with 6 minutes left to go in the tactical combat arena, third quarter. What would you do? Timeout for the Heat, by the way.
Yeah, it's getting kind of humid up here, but we're cool. We're being kept cool by this Raising Cane's sweet tea.
Hey, look, that Raising Cane's sweet tea, y'all need to go get you some if you hadn't tried it yet. Or lemonade. It's very good. I'm going to get me a swig right now.
We're loving it. But John, basically, from this point, what I would do, I mean, if what you've done hasn't worked, let's just do you can't blame the Mustangs for doing what they're doing. Let's try the same thing. Let's make some substitutions. I mean, you have Mason Smith, who was quarterback last year.
Put him in.
Let's put him in and see what happens. I mean, even if you have put McGee at wide receiver, and let's just see what happens. This is the time, I mean.
It can't get no worse.
I mean, exactly. Let's just experiment and see what happens. This is the time to do it.
We got to go for 2 if we score.
I mean, hey, what we got to lose?
What's it going to hurt?
Well, let's see. So, the Mustang defense, they're getting lined up, and Byron Young trying to get the defensive line together. And it's like another timeout. They seem to be some miscommunication with the defense, so give the Mustang, the Tigers another opportunity.
You know, why would the Mustangs call a timeout? That seems like I don't know.
It's like a trend from the first half, and remember, they used all their timeouts within like the first couple of minutes of the first quarter. But I mean, as you can see, it didn't hurt them or anything.
Right.
But I mean, you just really don't want to put your team in that position where you have no timeout. So this is, 6 minutes left in the third quarter. First timeout being used. You want to kind of be careful.
You want to be careful.
You have a whole nother quarter to go.
You know.
I mean, even though the scoreboard looks the way it does, Mustangs leading 33-0. You never know what might happen.
6 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
The Tigers are going to line up. 2 receivers. They're going to keep the 2 receivers set. Hayes lined up to the left of McGee.
There's a student section trying to get them fired up on the play out there.
McGee's going to hand off to Hayes, who powers his way up the middle.
That was probably Hayes' best run of the night. A good, strong run right up the middle.
Wow, you know what? If we just noticed that the Tigers have made a substitution. That was Tony Barnes in there running back for the Tigers.
Oh, Tony Barnes?
So they have made a substitution. They decided to make a change at the running back. And you really can't blame them, because when you think about it, Hayes, he carried the bulk of the load for the first half. I mean, the guy has to be winded. So, I mean, they're allowing this guy to come into the game and see what type of difference he can make. So, let's just give him an opportunity and see what happens. So on this play, same formation, keeps the ball.
Yeah.
McGee hands it off to Hayes up the middle. Didn't gain any yards.
Keep running
but
the same play though.
Exactly,
I try to air it out a little bit.